If you want to feel more connected to humanity and a little less alone, listen to Beautiful Anonymous. Each week, I take a phone call from one random anonymous human being. There's over 400 episodes in our back catalog. You get to feel connected to all these different people all over the world. Recent episodes include one where a lady survived a murder attempt by her own son. But then the week before that, we just talked about Star Trek. It can be anything. It's unpredictable. It's raw. It's real. Get Beautiful Anonymous wherever you listen to podcasts.
Episode 108 of the Wilderness Podcast is brought to you by our Patreon supporters. Support the show at patreon.com/thewildernesspodcast. Our supporter of the week is Colorize. We are also brought to you by Audible. Get a free month and free audiobook at audibletrial.com/wild. Welcome to episode 108 of the Wilderness Podcast. I'm your host, Dills, and with me is Diggin.
Hey, how's it going?
This week we will be talking about, well, the new Halloween event that got dropped on us, and the mobile client is going to be out in a couple days. And with community stuff, with mobile coming out soon, there seems to be an increase in gold selling and phishing ads, phishing scam ads on different social medias like Snapchat, Instagram. The current problem with the old wiki being defaced by what looks like to be bots. It was revealed that within the account options on the website, there is a checkbox on whether or not you will allow Jagex to share your information with third-party clients.
Advertising?
Sorry, not the...
RuneLight?
Yeah, no.
OS Buddy?
A user makes a post on the Reddit talking about how bad the Ranging Guild is, which might be interesting to talk about because it's been in the game forever, and like many other things, it's kind of a relic of the past. And finally, the design for the new Dragon Hunter Lance, which also brings up the topic of the graphics of the newer weapons and how they're being designed and whether they still fit the art style of RuneScape or old school RuneScape. Anyways, before we jump into that, we'll jump into your week. What'd you do? Anything exciting going on?
Real life, not so much. Nothing too much to talk about. Game related, not really too much besides RuneScape stuff. I haven't heard, nothing notable to talk about.
No?
I just Soul Calibur 6 and stuff. A little bit of that.
Fun. Working on it. What are you doing in old school RuneScape?
Yeah, so old school RuneScape, I guess this week was a pretty big week. I finally got around to just getting 99 magic.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so
I've been seeing a lot of people this week get 99 magic.
Yeah.
You're like the third, maybe the fourth?
Yeah. Didn't really, actively train it. I would do it for, certain Slayer tasks, like Dust Devils, Smoke Devils, and I guess Camelot teleporting for when I was doing agility.
True. Yeah, that's exactly what I do with my magic. I went through a hard grind and got 94. Christ, must have been 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a little bit less, but since then, the only way I've been leveling it is, as you mentioned, some of the random, teleporting. Maybe I'll alch some items because I don't want to sell them. Maybe I'm killing a boss that requires me to use the trident.
Yeah.
And then if I get a task I can burst, I will do that because it is faster. And yeah, magic experience, always nice. So I'm at, I believe it's 98. I'm at 98.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not really rushing to 99. That one I'll just passively get. But anyways, You got your 99.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's one of the better capes, to be honest. Well, it's good for specific reasons, like PKing, I guess. Is that it?
Well, spellbook swap. So I got 99 magic. No more combat training necessary. I'm done.
Damn.
Yeah, so that's nice. And I've only really been using the cape for, I got back to doing farm runs, just doing herbs, because I hated having to go to World 330, swap to Lunars, because I don't have the Lunars in my POH yet, because I just can't be asked to do that.
It's so good, though. I love it.
Yeah.
I believe you get Lunars and Arceus together when you finish off the altar.
Yeah. I don't really care too much for Arceus, and Lunars, yeah, I rarely will use once a day for something specific. And now I have just a magic cape. So at some point I will finish. I have ancient and standard in my POH, But I have the spell books. I can just swap to Lunars, go do an herb run, go to my POH, swap back to Ancients or Standards, whatever I need at the time, and then continue doing what I'm doing. But yeah, so I guess I got that. And then I've just been doing a bunch of Slayer. There's probably something else I've been doing too in the game, but I don't know.
You trying to get like 99 Slayer, or are you just doing it just because it's something to do?
Bit of both. So at first I was just doing it because I couldn't really find anything else to do. I did like a little bit of bossing, a little bit of PKing this week, but like nothing spectacular. Like, nothing really came of it. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna slay until I get 99 magic. So that happened, and now I guess I'm planning on just going for 99 Slayer because I'm at 97 right now, almost 98, like 200 or 300k away, maybe a bit less. Yeah, I'll hit 99 Slayer, and then from there,
I guess that's when combat's fully done.
Yeah. And then I just kind of have to worry about skilling. So I'll have a pretty rough idea because I kind of want to go for max cape. I could either go for 91 rune crafting and get the elite diaries done, the Karamja elites. I think I'm just going for 99 hunter next.
Fun.
Yeah. And then after that, I have like a pretty general idea of how I want to train all my skills. And I don't really want to spoil it yet. Yeah, I don't know. I've kind of came up with like what I think is a pretty decent way to like max while also not hating the game.
Fair enough.
And I've just been doing some random merching and trying to make as much money as I can for a T-bow rebuild.
Cool.
Yeah, so I'm pretty close to my goal. Pretty much what my goal is I'm going to get a bit more of a bank than what's needed for a twisted bow, sell everything except for like a select few items, buy a T-bow, and then rebuild the Zara and Sarah and get all my gear back like that.
Seems fun.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I think it'd be a little fun way to do it, I guess. And then throw some skilling in between the ones that make you money.
It would be nice because like building up a bank is fun, whereas building towards that one huge purchase, and like when I say huge, I mean like 500 mil plus.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of draining. It's demotivating.
Well, even getting full ancestral was super demotivating for me because I sat there and grinded out like the legs. I think it was the first piece I bought. And then I'm like, nice, that's not bad. But I'm like, fuck, and I have to do it all over again and get the chest piece. So then you sit there, you know what I mean? Like, it was a long time to grind all of that out. And then getting the Kodai and getting just all max mage and range and all that stuff. Like, it was quite a bitch. And then also, like, holding on to those items, like, when I took that hiatus a couple months ago, I lost over 100 mil just holding onto my ancestral.
Yeah.
But I say lost because I'm intending to sell it.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, because normally what I try to do is when I buy an item, I try not to sell it. Then I don't really care if the price drops.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. Once you start getting those big purchase items, you start saying, I'm 100 mil from my T-bow or my Elysian Spirit Shield. I could sell, that one item to get the item that I'm saving up for, and then just build back for that lesser item.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You got to like start wondering what are the benefits of just rushing towards that big purchase item.
Yeah, and typically, like, I'm not using Ancestral as much as I'd like. And I was debating on selling it before I stopped playing, before I took my little break. I don't know. It's not the biggest deal, though, because, like, my bank value only dropped 100 mil, but you also got to consider that, like, I also got 99 prayer during that time.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I was grinding out crafting, too. And, like, I was doing, like, a lot of random things. So, yeah, it's not too bad. I guess, hopefully I can get 99 Slayer quickly, and then my plans from, like, here on out for Slayer is, like, try and make as much money as possible. So, like, I've gotten so many Hellhound tasks, and I'm just doing Cerberus for them. Just waiting for, like, any drops, really. Just get, like, those Primordials or something.
You enjoying that?
Yeah, I don't mind it. I'm at 2.2k kill count.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, so I'm getting close. The Hell Puppy's 1 in 3,000. So I'm getting pretty close to, like, that drop rate.
I got super lucky and got my Hellhound at the pet at, like, 500 kill count.
Yeah.
Which is somewhat motivating. Like, whenever I'm doing a boss, in the back of my head, I'll continue to do it. Sure, it's good money, but the chance of having the pet's always nice. I'm a bit of a collector.
Mm-hmm.
So if there's a pet that I can get, I try to get it as well. I might not be there just for the pet, but that's the main reason why that boss I'm still going towards. So if I get a Cerberus task, I don't really know how I'm going to go about it because, you
Money.
you get the 20 mil drop,
Yeah.
or you get the Pegasians. It's like, what, 60K?
120.
Okay, they've gone up, so that's good.
I mean, you'll pretty much always make money at Cerberus.
Once you start getting the fight down, you got decent gear.
Yeah.
When you're like learning the fight, you're gonna break even because of all the prayer potions and whatnot you're going through.
Yeah, my setup's a bit different from most people. I bring like max strength with the bludgeon, and then I bring a whip and a spectral shield, and then because like the prayer reduction, and then I bring a DDS and a defender as well.
Okay.
I find that's the most consistent. I don't get the biggest trips. They're not like, 20 plus trips, but I also don't tick eat and I don't pray flick. But the trips are like the kills go by pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And I'm able to grind out because I used to just do bludgeon and then SGS, or I'd bring like a whip hat or a whip and a spectral as well. And then I just have like a random DDS. You know what I mean? Like I would like try and play around with it to like be conservative on the inventory space, and then like bring an SGS to like heal. I don't know. I get the tasks done like in a decent fashion.
It's not a bad boss. It's not like Sire, where it's just grueling to get through.
Yeah, Sire's really slow. Like the money per hour isn't really the best, and it's a boring fight. And like I have everything I want from Sire. Like I made my own bludgeon.
True.
I got Abbey Whip. I got and sold head. Or was it an Abbey Dagger? I think it was a whip. And then I got the pet as well. And I just hate that boss in general, so I don't really need to go back.
Yeah, once you get the pet, you know what I mean? You've checked everything off the list, basically.
Yeah.
You can just buy everything else.
And it's more efficient, just barrage. The Abbey Demons.
Yep.
So there's like there's no purpose in doing Sire.
What's crazy to me is how much the whip has gone up in price.
Yeah. It's like 3 mil or something
getting
now.
Close to 3 mil.
Yeah.
I was shocked. I remember we had talked about the rapier coming out, and we were discussing whether or not the whip would drop in value, but for some reason it's gone up.
Well, the rapier isn't used that. I rarely see people with it.
Yeah.
Sure, you can stand outside of Jagex and be like, hey, I saw 6 people today, but like around the world, like if you have a rapier, you're probably not going to use it for Slayer, because you most likely are like, you don't like Slayer, or you have 99, right? Like,
yeah, fair enough.
I just don't see it that often. It's like if you have a rapier, you probably have a scythe too. As odd enough to say, but like that's the one that I've seen. Usually the people I see with a rapier, they also have a scythe.
Yeah, even though there's a big difference in price, but no, that's
just because they're in that different world, right? Where they're just doing Theater of Blood all day.
Yeah.
And they're just making disgusting money. But yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. What about you? What'd you do this week?
Real life, nothing interesting. Just busy. Just getting things sorted out. It's just a busy week personally, but RuneScape and gaming-wise, well, just RuneScape-wise, because I haven't done any other gaming. I finally finished that Vorkath task.
Nice.
After, God, a month and a half, was it? Maybe more?
Nice.
Yeah, I guess so. I'm not a fan. So, I'd have to say, like, Vorkath is probably one of my least favorite bosses to do. I don't really know why. I have arguments on why I don't like it, but when I think about all the bosses I dislike to do, the only thing that's worse that I can think of right now is Sire. Abyssal Sire.
Yeah.
I don't know. Something about Vorkath I'm not a huge fan of.
Why I don't like Vorkath is because the setup is a Salve Amulet EI with Void.
Yeah?
I think that's so boring. And if you want to grind best gear for Vorkath, it's 2 items. It's the Dragon Hunter crossbow and the Dragon Ward.
Yeah,
that's that's so boring. Like at least with like, I don't know, let's just say like Bandos, right? Mm-hmm. Even though it's a God Wars dungeon, it's like you want like best in slots. It's like you grind it, you save up for full Bandos, you get a Ring of Suffering. You know what I mean? Get a Tentacle Whip, get like up to a DFS or an Ellie if you're ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah, it's like there's just like a lot more different setups you can bring, but like you rarely like you go to Vorkath, you're just
most people are on the blowpipe unless you got the Dragon Hunter crossbow, in which case you probably have that ward. So yeah, it took me forever to finish it, and it's good money. But that's the thing. Once I get that pet, I don't know if I'll be going back too often if I ever do get the pet.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the Zulrah is more fun. I prefer doing Vorkath when I had my Hunter crossbow.
Yeah.
Mainly because it's nice to play the game of like, can I get 8 kills this trip? You know what I mean? And then you're sitting there like you're tick eating like Gothic rests and stuff, and you're like, that stuff I enjoy doing because you're kind of just like, the challenge isn't the boss, the challenge is yourself. You're like just trying to like
yourself and your internet.
Yeah, you're just trying to see how long you can just like stay there. Zulrah is just more engaging, I guess. Except after an hour, my wrist hurts.
Carpal tunnel sets in.
Yeah, just doing like 5-way switches like nonstop just kind of hurts after a while.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Zulrah, after I did Vorkath, decided to go to Zulrah just to grind out. I didn't have that much money, especially from like crafting, that small crafting grind I did where I grew 1 level and lost like 4 mil.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to Zulrah just to make some money, and I do enjoy that boss. I guess it's because it's more interactive. I don't know what it is, but so I went there, did a bunch of kills, ended up getting the Serpentine Visage, which is 5 mil.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, so that was exciting. My first unique there after I'm at 250 kill count. It's
nice.
Not a lot, but you pass the drop rate. And yeah, I've been doing some Slayer here and there. And, sometimes I'm just too tired to actually do anything that requires too much focus. So I'll be at the woodcutting guild and just woodcutting redwoods, because I think I'm going to slowly get my next 99. Sorry, I'm slowly going to get woodcutting as my next 99. Because it is AFK, and sometimes if I'm doing schoolwork or if I'm just want to relax and watch Netflix. Been watching Daredevil season 3, by the way. Fucking good. Love it. Anyways, so I'll be doing that, and I think I'm at 96? Yeah, 96.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's all right. I learned something interesting this week from a user in the clan chat. So Burnaz pointed this out to me. You ever heard of the rabbit foot amulet?
No. Does it look good?
It looks. I mean, amulets don't...
Like, I think the Zarek talisman looks dope.
Yeah. I like the one you get from the Theater of Blood quest.
Yep, Draken's Medallion.
That one's alright, but most of them are just kind of, they're there. Well, actually, the Fury and the Torture Amulet are pretty sweet. Those are cool looking ones. This one, it's not nothing special to look at, but it has a perk to it that I never even... First off, didn't know it existed. Second of all, didn't realize this perk was even in the game, so it's kind of cool. It's nothing game-changing, but you can get the rabbit's foot by snaring a rabbit, and then you just have to string the foot. That requires level 37 crafting. And when you wear it, it increases the chance that when you get a bird's nest drop woodcutting, it has a better chance of containing a bird's egg within the nest. So it's kind of cool. What's so special about the bird's egg? Well, for a long time, there was nothing. Because bird's eggs have been in the game since 2005 or something. But they had no use for the longest time. In RuneScape 3, I believe you get a chance of receiving a pet with that egg. But in old school RuneScape, it had no use. Until one day they released... They call it a shrine at the Woodcutting Guild. It's like this little pit, basically. But you go up and you use your bird egg on it, and you have a chance of receiving a tree seed of some sorts. You're mostly going to get acorns and whatnot, the low-level ones. But there's also a 1 in 300 chance of receiving a piece of the evil chicken outfit, which is just a cosmetic outfit you can get. And I learned that the evil chicken set, there's 4 pieces to the set, total is worth 3.5 mil. So the head's worth 700k, the body's 600k, the legs are 1.1 mil, and the boots are 1 mil 50k. So that was pretty cool to see. It's just a cosmetic outfit, but when you unlock the flap emote and you have this set, this costume set on, it gives you another variant of that emote. So there's a bunch of different gear that does that.
Yeah.
And this one is another one. Lets you like fly a little bit, kind of hover. Anyways, I used my bird's eggs on this shrine this week. Very first one, I got the head. So 700k.
Nice.
So super lucky with that one. That was pretty cool. Yeah, I was just shocked to see that the rabbit's foot existed in the game because it's not something. Maybe I just forgot.
Yeah.
But it's like a random piece of item, jewelry, that had some little bit of use, a very niche use that I just didn't know existed.
Mm-hmm.
It makes me wonder what else is out there that I don't know exists. You know what I mean? Like there's a use for it, or maybe there's like a secondary use for some piece of gear that just forget about.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I think that's basically it. Yeah, just some Slayer, did some raiding, and finished off with some wood cutting.
Nice.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a slow week on my end. Anyways, should we hop right into the news, or should we flap to the news?
Nice.
Yeah, not really. That was a bad one.
Yeah, let's do it up. So for this week, we have the Halloween 2018 event and some Tutorial Island improvements or changes, depending on how you look at it.
Cool.
I guess those could mean the same thing depending on who you are. But yeah, anyways, so this Halloween event this year is called the Chambers of Eric.
Nice, I like that.
Yeah, good little pun.
Jagex loves their puns.
Oh yeah.
And I respect them for it.
Yeah, so everyone knows it's the time of year for a Halloween event, especially Eric, who thinks he's designed a rather good one. His niece and nephew aren't optimistic, and they'd likely have been content to go trick-or-treating around their neighborhood. But Eric is determined to show off his creative flair and give the kids a Halloween surprise they'll never forget. Then maybe his family won't think he's such a boring old fool.
A little sad.
Yeah. Eric's creative... Well, it gets a little bit more sad, but... Eric's creative flair may turn out to be lacking, but there's no limit to his determination to deliver his Halloween treat. He won't let little matters such as hygiene stand in his way, nor respect for the dead. Sounds like the average RuneScaper. Meet him outside the church near Remington to help him create the Chambers of Eric. And once you've dealt with the consequences, and there'll be consequences all right, you'll be rewarded with a strangely chilling costume to help you stop making friends, along with Eek the Spider, who'll be your friend anyways. You'll also unlock all the prior years' Halloween items, emotes, skin colors, music tracks, wall kits for your POH. And the event will continue until the Thursday, November 8th. No combat is required, so yeah, everyone can participate.
Cool. Sounds pretty good. I heard it was good. Personally, I have not had time to actually complete it, but that is something I'm going to be doing because, hell, I want that Twitch Prime skin.
Yep.
I want that. They always do a good job with their events, too.
Yeah.
They put a lot of work into it, which is not the norm for many MMO games.
Most games have, they put a lot of work into it, but they just cut and paste it. Like I'm thinking of, WoW.
Yeah.
It's the same thing every single year. You fight, one boss in the same dungeon every single year. You get the same items. You do interact with the same thing. You know what I mean?
RuneScape, they make mini quests.
Yep.
Some of them are so good that they become... Well, one time they became a quest. It's free to play. But they really go all out.
Mm-hmm.
And they always have. I think back to when I played in 2004 and stuff, and there was always an event that you would do to unlock stuff, whether it's you go to the underground Santa's lair to help the elves make their toys.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? There's always something. And then last year, what was it? The Jason styled one where he's chasing you underwater and stuff, and it was a frustrating quest, but hey, it was interesting. It's kind of cool. Yeah, it's nice to see that they kind of make these events more fun instead of just, hey, we put a new skin on the world where it's snowing, which is usually what most games do, and they'll have little things here and there.
Yeah, it's always nice and new, always good and fresh with Jagex.
Yeah, it makes it fun.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, Eek the Spider was, I think, a last minute addition to this year's stuff. Someone asked Mod Ash if they could add Eek the Spider as a pet.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, yeah, sure, we can do that. And I think it's just a spider on a string on your hand or something. I don't know.
Right. Okay,
it's an equipable. I don't think it's an actual pet that you drop and it follows you around.
You might have told me that it was a pet at first, and I was kind of not sure how I thought about that.
You know that?
Most pets are pretty big grinds, and they're super rare. You start having a pet for the Halloween event, you're going to have one for Christmas, and then Easter, and then it has to be different every year, probably? Or costumes or something?
Well, like, if getting like a seasonal pet be the norm would be like, where are you going to hold it all? You like, go and do your first time playing, like, 3 years from now, and you're like, oh, I'm going to go do the Christmas event. You have, like, 3 or 4 pets.
You have 3 or 4 pets, yeah, and they're just doing it every little event, every single time, every year. Maybe there's a new iteration of it, or if it's a different costume. And then, wait for it, they start releasing an in-game store that sells pets for bonds.
Yep.
Okay, maybe it's a bit of a stretch, but hey.
Okay, what if you could, like, use 10 bonds and you can make a bond pet? Just like a pet. Or use a bond on your pet and then it gets recolored to, like, the bond.
Or what if you get a little bot that follows you around? Like the bald-headed level 3, and he just kind of follows you around.
A little beggar.
A
guy trying to, like, just need 1 more mil for my bond.
Yeah. Yeah, and then what if there's different beggars? One guy just asking for that, one guy who's selling 13 trout.
Yep.
You have one guy who's
doubling money.
Yep. And one guy, hey, whoever shows me 50 mil or more wins something great.
Yeah. Give me 500K, you won't regret it.
Yep.
All that good stuff. Anyways,
and then you can have a guy who's like, go to this YouTube video and see how you can win millions. Just check the comments.
Mod Jed.
It's Mod Jed Pet.
Just like a little NPC following you with like the disguise glasses and the nose and the fake mustache.
Sick.
Maybe he's in handcuffs.
All right, I'd spend money on that.
Yeah, I think we all would. Anyways, yeah, so they made some changes to the tutorial island. And yeah, I guess we'll just start going through it. So they wanted to keep tutorial island still nostalgic, but they also want to streamline the experience and make it less frustrating. So,
again, with mobile coming around the corner, they're trying to make it as non-frustrating as possible. We talked, I think it might have been last week, about how we all know someone who quit on Tutorial Island because they got stuck on something.
Yeah, because reading comprehension.
Yeah, reading
comprehension. Not the Scaper's best. I mean, you hold spacebar for everything, right? You hold
spacebar. There's no voice overs, so you don't.
Yeah, there's no audiobook.
Yeah.
Audibletrial.com.
There's no guides on you. Is there guides on YouTube?
For tutorial? Probably.
There's a 16-minute walkthrough. They're all like 15, 16 minutes.
Old school RuneScape tutorial island tutorial.
If you ever get to that point, maybe don't play the game.
Yeah.
What's interesting, though, old school RuneScape does have a speedrunning category on speedrun.com.
Yeah. So wait, speedrun live or with speedrun.com?
Speedrun.com.
Okay.
Which is, I guess, where they catalog a lot of the records.
You should Google, like, Speedruns Live or something like that.
Alright, so Speedrun Live doesn't have old school RuneScape, but Speedrun.com does, and there is currently 5 categories. First one is Iron Man and Ultimate Iron Man Free-to-Play Champions Guild. So I guess first one to get there. Iron Man, 1 hour and 17 minutes is the fastest. Ultimate Iron Man, there's only one person, and it took him 1 hour and 38 minutes. They have free-to-play Black Knight's Fortress. Ultimate Iron Man is at 35 minutes. Iron Man, there's one guy for the category, that's weird. 35 minutes, so the Ultimate Iron Man are just winning that one. Another category they have is Paid to Play, Time to Obtain Mithril Gloves. Highest is Void Warping, 2 hours and 21 minutes. And then they have a miscellaneous category. Oh, this is weird. You ready for this one?
Yeah.
Fastest time to obtain a camouflage top.
That's probably just a meme, though.
It's got 32 people racing on it. 5 minutes is the top. Yeah, it is definitely a meme because number 32 is 999 hours, 59 minutes, and 59 seconds. So 1,000 hours.
Yeah. Like, that's not like an actual category because it's literally RNG.
They've got a video.
Yeah. Like, that was posted on Reddit, kind of like a joke. There's no one that creates accounts, waits until what, like 30 minutes and then just makes a new one?
Anyways, the reason we brought this up, Tutorial Island speedrunning. First place by Columball, 3 minutes and 25 seconds. Submitted 2 days ago. This is a new record.
Because of the new changes that we'll go over.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So there's speed runs, or you can go watch a tutorial that's 15 minutes long. Anyways, where were we?
Yeah, talking about what they changed. So, the very first section, the survival section, which was, you cut the tree, you light the fire, you burn a shrimp, and then you cook the next shrimp, right?
Yeah.
They say in the order in which players are instructed to complete tasks has been rearranged in the survival section of the tutorial. Previously, you cut a tree, light a fire, and then you would fish. But now fishing comes first. This change was made because by the time players had caught a fish, their first fire had gone out, meaning they had to light a second one. Make sense?
It could happen.
Additionally, players, well, if you're like very into the game, you're like, what?
Yeah.
Trying to find this? Yeah. And now we have RuneLight that like shrimp are caught here, blinking like arrows and everything.
Fires out in 5, 4, 3.
Ticks remaining until you can finish the speed run. Yeah. Additionally, players are no longer guaranteed to burn the first shrimp they catch. While burning food happens commonly in the game, it's not something that players need to learn during the tutorial. It's funny because I have this, I know it's like a false memory, but I have this memory of me being a kid of like cooking my first shrimp on one of my new characters I would just make for fun.
Mm-hmm.
During Tutorial Island, and I like would be like, oh man, yeah, you know what I mean? I still remember
wait, what do you mean?
Like, I still remember, like, never burning shrimp on Tutorial Island.
I remember always burning it.
Like, that's why I'm saying it's a false memory. Like, I was convinced. But then once I, like, saw the update, I'm like, I wonder why I remember that.
They call it the Mandela effect?
Just a false memory.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mandela
brain playing tricks on you.
She'll do that.
This one actually made me stop playing RuneScape. This actually made me quit Tutorial Island for the first time. Like, when I first played, I was like, I don't get this. But... the music list.
Oh, yeah. This happened to a friend of mine.
So during the second cooking section of the tutorial, so you cook the shrimp and then you go and you make your bread and whatnot, you had to open up your music list before you could like leave and whatnot. And they removed that because knowing where music is an essential part of the game. And you don't have any tracks to unlock and players don't read, so then they quit.
Then the speedrun's shot because they don't know what the fuck to do.
Yep. Instead, players can explore their music list and discover the succulent beats of songs like Sea Shanty 2.
Succulent. What a great word.
Yep.
Someone's feeling a little frisky at work when they were writing that.
Oh, yeah. The emotes panel is another interface where you're required to open it during Tutorial Island. And hey, that tricks some people as well. Similarly to music, you don't really need to know where the emotes are. I actually disagree because of clue scrolls, but whatever. We'll continue. We won't worry about that. Therefore, the emote section has been removed. Some other changes they made. Whenever a side stone flashes, the background now flashes as well as the icon, making buttons easier to see. So when it's like, click your equipment, like your whole screen will like, if you're epileptic, you can't play RuneScape anymore, sadly. Yeah. Just a barrage of rainbow-like colors.
It's kind of like Call of Duty when you get injured enough and the whole screen turns red.
Yeah, you get jelly on your screen.
Yep.
Except for Scapers, it's something else. But, yeah, the
blood, sweat, and tears from all the hard grinding.
Yeah. The combat section now describes the view equipment stats buttons to make it clear to which one is correct. It also flashes as the side stones do. That actually usually tricked me up because you have to like click the equipment, click your shield, and you have to like, it's a really wonky thing to do. Even though I've made like tons of accounts, it'll always kind of throw me off. Messages have been condensed, so scrolling is no longer needed. The section teaching players how to run now highlights the minimap orb and is optional. I might have told the story, but my one friend was like raging, saying how RuneScape tutorial doesn't work.
Just broken. How do people finish the tutorial?
He's that kind of guy. He's like, fuck this.
My account's bugged out.
Yeah, this game's bugged. What? It's telling me to run. I turn on my run. I'm out of run energy. I'm running around, and it won't let me pass. I'm like, dude, you have to go to the options. Like, read it. It says go to your wrench options. Click the run there.
It is confusing now that we have that orb.
The orb does make it really dumb. But now you can just click the orb. So hey, it helps with speed running. No need to bind, your options to an F key.
I just wonder if you're already running, if you'll still have to unclick run and then click
Probably.
running.
Yeah. I kind of want to try and speedrun Tutorial Island now.
You could do it. Just keep making accounts till you do it.
Yeah, it's kind of a bitch to make accounts, though. Anyways, prospecting has been removed from tutorial as it is not essential, but will remain as a feature in the game. I don't know how I feel about that, because I remember prospecting ores that I'd never seen before as like a newbie when I go mining and stuff. Because you're only exposed to bronze and tin.
Yeah.
Or copper and tin, sorry. That I don't know why I said bronze, but yeah, you're only exposed to like making bronze bars and whatnot. And then once you bump into like iron and coal, you're like, how do I just have to, I don't know.
You might do that once. I don't know. I feel like prospecting is kind of a useless.
How else is a new player supposed to know which one's which?
I don't know. Can't you like go on like the
wiki?
The wiki, or no, the guides. You click on the skill. Can't you just like?
It doesn't show the rock though. It just shows the ore.
But if you click on it, it'll say you don't have you need blank and blank mining level to do it, don't you?
Yeah, but they're like, what is, like, you need 15 mining to mine this, and you're like, well, what is it?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
But prospecting did throw some people off, so I guess that's why they took it out, but whatever. Previously, the tutorial fence required players to use their ores to open it. Or, sorry, let me say it again. Previously, the tutorial furnace required players to use their ores on it. It now has a left-click option in line with all the other furnaces in-game.
Oh, nice.
Alongside the above changes, we've made various tweaks to dialogue and default settings to help make sure the tutorial is the best it can be. Any player who was midway through a removed section before its update will find they have been moved a stage forwards or backwards, whichever was most suitable when they next log in. We will be working with the analytics and data science team to monitor these changes and see what impact they have depending on the results. They may make some more changes. Feedback, as always. And moving on, because it's still kind of relevant, helping all the new players and whatnot. We're a couple days away from mobile. By the time you hear this, mobile will be officially launched. So there's going to be a lot of new players.
Yeah, that's right. That's kind of exciting. I am excited to see the impact it's going to have. I'm excited to see what new players are going to be coming out of the woodwork to play it. Because we received a tweet.
Is it about Donald Trump? Is it a political tweet? Because they got us confused with the other people?
There's a lot of that. But this one time, it was RuneScape related.
Nice.
Maybe by accident. But it was from Isaac, and he was asking us if we knew anything about the mobile update or the mobile client coming out and whenever it was. I just kind of explained to him it'd be out probably tomorrow. It'd be out on the 30th.
Mm-hmm.
And not really sure how it's going to release. Some people have been talking in the Discord thinking it might be like a midnight release.
Yeah.
But it could also just be kind of how they do their other updates, which is like just in the morning.
Yeah.
They
just
wake up.
Yeah.
Sometimes, like with Theater of Blood, came out for us at 6 a.m. Other times, some updates come out at like 11 a.m. It just depends on, you know what I mean? I guess maybe they're putting it out and they're like, wait a minute, let's quickly go over everything. So I'm not sure if this is going to be a standard update release or if it's going to be something different, because you can like pre-register to download it as soon as it's released. So it could be like a midnight launch thing, but I think everyone's going to want to be like, everyone at Jagex is going to want to be in the office. You know, they've got their bottles of champagne.
Mm-hmm.
Ready, 3, 2, 1, release it. Pop the champagne. Watch the download start.
Yep.
Servers are down. Shit. But I am interested. Anyways, the reason I brought him up, though, is because he was saying he hasn't had a chance to play since the game first came out because not having a PC or whatever it is. But luckily, because of mobile, he's going to be able to play. So I think there's a lot of people going to be kind of in his situation. There's going to be a lot of people who are just mobile gamers.
Mm-hmm.
They see it on the App Store and they're like, wow, what is this? Let's check it out. It's because when it was released in Canada, when we got the closed early access, I guess, it hit the top of the charts, or the top 5 at least, in a lot of different categories.
Mm-hmm.
So it became visible to a fair amount of people. So I'm sure it's going to be like that in a lot of other countries too. So,
Yeah.
you're just going on the store and you're going to see it and you can be like, I'll try this game out. Anyways, what I'm trying to say is I'm excited to see the new players being able to access it and their reactions to it. And I don't know. It's ushering a new era, a new generation of scapers.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty interesting. I wonder if I hope there's going to be a noticeable difference in the type of player base.
Hard to say if it's going to be noticeable unless you're going out of the way to find it. But I think if you go into a free-to-play world...
Well, yeah, obviously. Yeah, you'd have to, like... If you just hang out at Lumbridge in a free-to-play world...
You'll see these new players kind of come in, and you can watch them kind of struggle to get around because they're on mobile.
Yeah.
Not being able to talk properly, but... Yeah, it should be pretty interesting. Maybe go out there and hand out some iron sets.
Actually, this is actually a pretty good time to talk about this. Because other news, there's really, like, nothing super nice. Like... There was a bug that I mentioned where if you were burying bones during run mode, it would make you walk, even though you're in run mode. So you have to turn on walk for a tick or two and then turn back on run.
Okay.
It's most noticeable in the Wilderness Chaos Halter if you're a suicide method and you get caught midway and you're trying to like run to quickly use your bones. Yeah, you can skip the Barbarian Assault tutorial. Only really useful for Zerkers because you've done it already. You know what I mean?
So wait, what does that have to do with like the iron armor?
Well, no, this is just the other news.
Oh, you just moved on.
But yeah, there's not really anything special to talk about. So now would be a good way to segue that for I guess if there's any because maybe this is where a mobile first person they're new, they just got mobile. They like podcasts. Maybe this is like their first episode. They're
yeah, true.
Maybe. You might hate me after this. Who knows? But when it comes like a new player playing the game, there's a weird imbalance between people who have been, I don't want to say like veterans, but like people who just played the game. Someone who...
A large majority of players have been playing for years.
Yeah.
They're not new players. There are some of them, but they're kind of the outliers.
Yeah. And so a lot of it is that those people can like make or break a game.
On how they treat these new players.
Yeah,
what you mean?
So let's say you're hanging out in Lumbridge, and you're like, you know what? I'm going to wait for all these new guys to just kind of join, and I'm going to give them out like 100K, give them like free sets of this, blah, 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 blah. In my opinion, it's nice, but a lot of times it like makes the person not want to play anymore.
Depends on what you give. If you give them like, here's a set of iron, here's a set of mithril, here's a set of this.
Yeah.
You know, because I have that with games. I'd play this new game that I never played before. This guy sets me up with all this really good gear.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'm just like, okay, so what? I'm just going to train till I can wear it. You know what I mean? But if you, I feel like if you do set them up with like maybe full iron and a weapon, that's good enough gear for them to be like, wow, this is exciting. I'm going to go kill some stuff. But also they're going to outlevel it fast and they're going to have their eyes set on steel or black or mithril. So they're going to start looking at the next tiers that they want to move up, which at a lower level and you're a new player, getting like 2K gold without begging for it isn't the easiest.
Mm-hmm.
I remember like trying to save up for like maybe mithril or adamant, and you have to buy it in small pieces because how are you going to get 1.5? They don't know they can go to kill cows and sell the leather. They don't know that they can go do this or that. They're probably going to go find the bronze dagger in the second floor of Lumbridge Castle and take that and sell it for 12 GP over and over again.
Yeah, I still remember my major breakthrough, which made me go, so this is how you play the game. And I had like full black and...
black is such cool looking armor too.
Yeah, it's always been my favorite. Actually, never mind. I was going to rant on a fucking another nostalgic memory, but...
One nostalgia to the next.
Yeah, never mind. Let's stay focused. I remember like really wanting to buy mithril, but I was also really close to buying adamant, and I'm like, this is impossible. I'm never going to be able to get this gear. Like, this is way too much money. Like, 30 plus K for Addy? Like, that's ridiculous. I don't have the money for that. Like, I barely... Like, I was, had to, like, beg and shit for, like, this black armor, because I had no idea how to make money. And then I saw some dude running around with, like, rune gold or something, and I was just like, yo... Well, I'm paraphrasing, because I was like, 8 or something at 7 at the time.
Yo, what's up, my home skills?
Yeah. I was like, hey, buddy, how did you make enough money? I don't know how to make money. And he was like, you should kill hill giants and sell bones.
Yeah.
And I was like, huh, really? And he goes, yeah, sell them for this much, like 250 gold each or 300, whatever they were at the time. And he's like, just get like 100. It might suck, but get 100, sell it. Boom. Like 30, I think it was 350, so like 35K or something like that, or 30K. So remember that was like, I had nothing and then I had like 30K.
True.
And he was like, focus on getting 100. Don't stop till you get 100. Find a way to get it and then sell it. And boom, like you can buy full mithril. I was like, what? He's like, yeah, it might suck, but you'll get stronger as you do it and it'll be easier and faster. I'm like, okay. And I still remember what my strat was. I'd go to Barbarian Village, pick up all the drop fish that people were dropping.
Yeah.
I would run inside the longhouse because there's a permanent fire there. There was no fire in that area. People used to sit there and beg for fires as they were fishing there back then. You had to manually use each fish on the fire. There was no cook all interface. Like even the original one wasn't there at the time. Cook them all. I'd burn a bunch. I'd have to go back, pick up more, and I'd go full inventory. And then I'd get like 1 or 2 kills at hill giants. And I'd get like 1 or 2 bones, go and bank it. But you get levels slowly and it gets better and better. I remember getting 100, buying full myth. Then I went and did it again, and this time was easy. You know what I mean? I'm just like, wow. And then in like a week or so, like I was just like grinding them. I had like full addy, I had like power ammunition. You know what I mean? I had like everything that I needed. And I'm like, nice, I can just do this. And by the time I can wear full rune, I should have enough money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like that was like a huge breakthrough of like that. So I don't know. It's kind of like if there's a new player, obviously help them out, but like maybe don't give them a big cash stack. Like I've made that mistake in the past. I have a buddy join. And I'm like, all right, well here's like 100K, some food, iron, steel, black myth sets, and then like they just kind of quit 2 days later because they have nothing to grind for.
Yeah.
And they're like, man, I've been playing all day and I have 20 attack and strength. Are you kidding me?
It's the whole give a man a fish versus teach a man to fish.
Yeah.
Well, okay, let's pretend I'm a new player coming to the game on mobile. What would you recommend me do? What advice would you give to me as the new player coming into the game? I have no knowledge of this game and I just want to dick around on it and I have no idea what any of these skills do and not, what direction do you point them in?
First thing I would do is ask what do they like about like games? Like what would be fun in general? Like for a game you're playing mobile or whatever, like in your mind, what would be fun? You know what I mean? Because that's like the real question, right? I could be like, dude, go woodcut. And then they're like, dude, this is so boring. But maybe they want to kill goblins, or man, go kill goblins. And they're like, I want to interact with the world. Okay, well then quest. You know what I mean? So like, I think the main thing is that I would try and figure out what they enjoy in games in general. Because hey, I have like buddies that pretty much got 99 Slayer. Or I have a buddy who got 99 Slayer, and then pretty much all he does is do revs, and he doesn't really play that much anymore. Like he hates everything that's not making money by killing shit.
Yeah.
So if that's what someone wants to do, I'd be like, okay, and I would like show them like, hey, you can kill like cows for hides, blah 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 blah. You know, show them that, teach them about Grand Exchange. You know what I mean? Like I would intro them into like something that they're actually, without going too hard, like just kind of dip their toes in the water, something they find interesting.
All right, okay, different approach. A new player for the first time is playing this game, can't play it right now, so he goes and looks for a podcast because he's at work. He stumbles upon this show. What would you say, hey, fresh off Tutorial Island, try these out?
What do you like to... No, I'm kidding.
Right in. Here's a survey you must answer.
Join our Discord. Tweet at us.
Like, comment, and subscribe.
Yeah. Click that. Join the notification squad. Whatever those YouTubers say. If they can't even play the game yet.
Well, they're just on. They're off Tutorial Island.
Okay, yeah.
You don't have to overthink this question.
Okay. I would just tell them to kind of like it's an open world game, so treat it as an open world, right? Think of it as like Skyrim.
Yeah.
If someone were to be like, "What do I do?" It's like just fucking walk around, like it's there's so much stuff to do. Like, you can open up the map and go and just like look at the map. Okay, I'm here. What's over there? Jail guard killed me. Fuck. No, but in all seriousness, yeah. I don't know. I would just say like it's a hard question because like
everyone's different. This game has so much to offer. That's why we have all these different groups within the game. You got level 3 skillers who don't do combat. You have people who only do combat. You have people who PvP and they don't like to do, PVM content.
You have people that advertise websites.
Yeah, they love to just type about websites, apparently.
Honestly, though, I would say just start talking to people. Just be social. Go walk around, say, hey, how's it going? Blah, 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 and just chat with people. And if they're doing something that seems somewhat interesting, they're killing chickens, maybe join them. If they're like cutting a tree, maybe cut a couple, move on. Like just kind of go around the world and interact with people. Because I think that's the main thing is that like RuneScape is so much more fun when you have people to chat with.
Yeah. Keep
in mind, don't trust people in terms of like giving items and stuff because scamming is a pretty big thing in this game.
Yeah, always. Yeah, if you're a new player, you will be prey for some of these scammers.
Sadly, they have like couple mil, like they have like money that you can't comprehend that they're wearing as pants.
Yeah.
And they're still going to take 50K from you and leave.
Yeah.
Or like, yeah, people are just kind of like awful, but there's also really nice people. But I would just,
it's a very polarizing game where you have some of the nicest and sweetest people who will like go out of their way to help you and show you something for no reason other than to do it. But then you also, on the other hand, you have someone who will spend a large amount of time gaining your trust just to screw you over for a small amount of money.
Yep. Hey, I have friends that had relationships with people for multiple years. Boom, twisted bow scam. Boom, account hacks like that. I know these people like, well, through I say personally, but I say like through RuneScape. Like I know them through RuneScape. I don't hang out with them in real life.
But still, you can build connections where you can feel like
people that I would be like happy to see in real life because like I've talked to them enough through RuneScape and whatnot. You know,
like,
exactly. I consider them friends. They've had like multi-year relationships tarnished over pixels, right?
Exactly.
But in general, I would just say like, if you have no idea what to do, just start talking to people. Doesn't it not even say, what do I do? Just like, hey, how's it going? Like, are you new as well? Yes, no. Maybe they don't respond. It doesn't matter. Just like talk and you can
probably won't respond.
Well, depending on who it is, right? They're advertising websites, but
they will respond, just not with what you're looking for.
Yeah, just like walk around.
I think that's the best way to put it. It's kind of like, since this game is so open-ended and it's a sandbox game to the truest extent, really just do what you want to chop down that tree. Okay, chop down the tree. Oh, that's cool. Let's chop it again. Oh, you grew a level. That was kind of fun.
Yeah.
You want to keep growing levels? Okay, do some more wood cutting. But really, like, a lot of people love combat. It's just, I don't know. It makes sense, right? You play games, you want to kill shit.
You kill shit. Yeah, you make money.
Kill
get cool
some
drops.
Goblins.
Try and wear their mail and you realize you can't fit in it.
Exactly. Kill some goblins. But maybe you want to make some money eventually. Maybe look at the cows. Collect their leather, their hide.
Yeah.
Bank them and sell them. Don't think too hard about your grinds right now. You know what
don't
I mean?
worry about being like efficient.
Yeah.
Like people want to be like efficient, but yeah, just kind of do whatever you feel is fun. Like looking at certain quests.
Yeah, that's the thing. And then when you don't really have any direction what to go, look at the quests. Bang out your free to play quests.
Yeah.
That'll eventually get to a point where you need to level up a skill.
Yeah.
Now you have a goal.
Yeah, and there's why I would emphasize on like being social is that like if you don't
very social game.
Yeah, that, but like
to be.
if you're let's say you've been playing the game for like an hour and you're kind of wandering, you're like, but then you meet another person that is in the exact same boat. Well, like now you have someone just to chat with, add to your friends list, maybe
you guys can go do stuff together. Maybe he's like, I'm gonna go try fishing. I will join you.
Yeah.
Guess what? There's these dark mages. We need a third person because they're just really fucking us over.
Yeah. That's kind of like the best things about like these games are like the people you meet. And then when you do stuff with them, like I don't enjoy doing raids because none of my buddies raid anymore. Like they all quit. And like, sure, there's people in the CC that like in our CC that do raids all the time. And like, you ask me to do them all the time and stuff. And I'm just like, yeah, maybe later. But it's like, of course it'd be fun, but it's still like I get that like, man, I wish they still played. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I get that in the back of my head like the whole time. Like,
and eventually you kind of meet some people that you just, it's like your group that you escape with. You get to a level where you're going to start bossing together for the first time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you're doing some combat. You're killing some cows. Maybe you want to slowly progress towards something else. Start looking at those hill giants you mentioned. Eventually.
Yeah,
they
eventually.
Smack pretty hard. You don't want to go there right away. But there is some money to be made there for a free-to-play player. You got the bones. You got the limp roots that are going up in price. Limpwort root. And the fact that they drop a key now that you can fight this new boss.
That you should really wait until
you have the prayer.
a while.
Wait till you have the prayer. But it's exciting.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's a cool thing to look forward to later on.
Yeah, it's something that you would want to do. It's like doing Dragon Slayer,
Mm-hmm.
the Dragon Slayer quest, where you have to fight this dragon, and you're like, don't know if I'm ready. Yeah, you might not be ready, but you'll get there, right?
Yep. Let's say you don't like going to bars, right?
Sure.
Let's pretend this person. Well, it's a RuneScape player. They're not too social.
True. Yeah.
So now imagine you're not like an active party goer or like you don't like to bar hop or something, right?
Yeah.
But then you find yourself in a position where you're doing that. The best thing you can do is just talk to people. At some point you'll have to, like, if there's like 40 people in an area and you're just talking with everyone or just whatever, it might be weird in the beginning, but you're going to bump into someone that's in the same position as you in general. And now you have someone to figure out what the fuck to do with, right?
Yeah.
Or like if you join like a class or something, or like you're going off to college and you're in like a classroom and you don't know anyone, like you just talk to people, you're going to find someone that like, hey, we're in this together now. And you like build it, and that just makes the experience way more enjoyable.
This game is more enjoyable as a group. You know what I mean? That's why clan chats are great, because you can just like chill and talk. And if you want to do something together, you can find someone, or who knows, maybe, you know, sometimes I'll be wood cutting and then someone else will say, I'm also wood cutting. Okay, let's hop worlds. We're not cutting the same tree, but hey, it's fun to just bump into each other.
Yeah. Even like if you were to, like, even for like me, if I'm doing blood runes, I'm rune crafting, I go to the same world, I will generally see the same handful of people on.
Yeah.
Kind of like the old days with like wood cutting. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's true. But yeah, just kind of do what you think would be fun. Eventually, if you're really enjoying the game and you just want more, then you can start looking at members.
Yeah.
It unlocks free to play has so much to do in it. You do not need to rush into a membership.
Most people I know, when they first played old school, or I guess RuneScape, like
back in the day,
so old school, I guess. I was probably free to play for year plus. Like I had goals of like
maybe even longer, honestly.
I was really weird. I wanted to be able to cut use. I wanted all the quests done in free to play. I wanted full rune. I wanted like all the overheads. Like I was super weird, like the protect magic range, and I had like a lot of really weird goals set up. And because back then you put like money in the mail, or that's what we did. It was like we put a check in the mail,
yeah,
and then
like
we
that.
waited 2 weeks, and then just one day you logged on, and you're like, oh, remember?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And then it's like doing free to play all over again, but members. I'm going to pickpocket this dude.
Yeah.
I'm going to see what's through the gates of Karamja, because I've always wondered.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm spending weeks doing the Brimhaven agility course.
Yeah. Now I'm leaving Fowler, looking through the gates to Taverley, and now I'm in this mountain getting attacked by wolves.
Yeah.
Holy shit, I'm going to die.
Yeah, but yeah, don't get too antsy about going into membership, because there's the free to play in old school RuneScape is a really good game on its own.
Yeah.
Like, not many other MMOs, in my opinion, have that type of experience for someone to play for free. And if you don't want to spend money, then one day you'll start grinding towards that bond. It's a big grind, but
yeah, there are people that have never spent a dime on RuneScape, and they're like members that are high level that like play solely off of bonds that they make in game,
because it adds another goal to their already goal-driven account, or goal-driven game. If you're a newer member, let us know, because I'm interested to hear your experience while you're playing the game.
Yep. Yeah, if you're coming from mobile, like tweet us at the Wilderness RS,
email even wildernesspodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, just like interested to hear your story, why you stumbled across it, what made you want to listen to a podcast on it. You know what I mean? Like, why? What's the pull to this game? Because like you mentioned, a lot of us we might have not have gotten to a high level, but we still had played years prior.
Yeah. I mean,
We're all familiar to some extent.
I'm Max Combat. I can now say that.
Yeah, this account has incredibly surpassed my old account.
Oh, dude, I
Easily.
look at my RuneScape 3 account and I'm like, oh, what? That's so gross. What is this? Like 40 Slayer? What? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
The account is like, and at one point I didn't want to play old school because I had to restart. Keep in
True,
mind that was
yeah.
5 years ago. But like, obviously I'm taking a lot of hiatuses and stuff.
Many people are like that, yeah.
Yeah. Actually, did you know there was only one player in old school that has logged on every single day since the game has come out?
Really?
Yep.
Who? Do you know?
I forget what his name is, but
Okay.
Jagex tweeted it, and the guy, or maybe the guy said that Jagex like let him know. I don't know, something like that. But it was confirmed, and he's like, "Yeah, I've always had a couple hours each day to play." Which now I think now that he knows, he's probably like, "I gotta get on. It's just 20 minutes." Just
That
so-
or he's like, I gotta stop botting and start playing the game.
This guy just been logging on, buying things off the G and elking them every single day for 5 years. He maxed Mage a long time ago. He's 200 mil. What?
It's on to the next skill. Anyways, let's move on to some community chatters. We do have some things to actually go through. So I saw a post from Turner3210 on the subreddit who brought up, because of mobile coming out, like ads on RuneScape, it kind of happens because we played a lot. You'll see them popping up from time to time.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're starting to see some actual YouTube ads for old school RuneScape mobile.
Funny enough, the only ads I get on YouTube are obviously if I'm watching it on the phone.
Yeah.
They're always RuneScape ads.
The
And
ones made by Jagex they're good.
So I guess once you go in depth, go into this, I know what you're gonna say, but it's made me it made me speculate what exactly, like, 'cause I never actually open up the ads.
Yeah,
I'm just like, I know, like, they're like, I can go on Snapchat right now and like, I'll show you in like 20 seconds. My first ad's gonna be like old school. It's always RuneScape.
Yeah. So Snapchat was an example given here.
Mhm.
Instagram. There's some of the social medias that you might not expect old school RuneScape advertisements to be so prolific on.
Mm-hmm.
But this user posted that recently, most likely because of mobile,
Mm-hmm.
that Snapchat and Instagram are getting hit. Like they're seeing many old school RuneScape ads, but these are more advertising gold selling websites.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but they disguise themselves as an old school ad. So like, oh, I remember that, and you click it, but then it says like you have to buy this gold to play.
True.
That's what the ad is. So like, it's very like, this is old school RuneScape and blah 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 blah. But to play, you need to spend. There's an entry to this,
Mm-hmm.
like a barrier entry of money, and then your first experience is getting scammed out of your money.
Probably account so that it can get botted on, right?
Yeah.
Something. But what also this leads to is some friends that you're connected to who may not play old school RuneScape could start getting these advertisements as well. It becomes this virus, not like the computer virus, technically maybe, but it starts just spreading to the people you know.
I'm not following. So
Well-
how do you mean by, what do you mean by that?
Well, since you're connected to your friends on Snapchat and you're getting all these ads, the ads might spread to your friend where they're going to start seeing those ads from time to time. They might not play old school RuneScape, but for some reason now they're getting these ads.
I've always assumed that because every app sells your information, if it's free, like you're the product. That's the rule of thumb with social medias and whatnot.
Oh, yeah.
And so typically you get ads geared towards yourself. And if I'm ever on my phone, I'm on 2007 Scape subreddit, I'm playing RuneScape, or I'm on Snapchat making stupid snaps to my friend, or making 50 mil. I'm kidding, but I'm totally kidding. But if I'm on the YouTube, it's because like Torvesta released a video. I'm squeezing a big one out. I'm going to be 20 minutes anyways. I'll watch the video on my phone. So all this data being collected is like, all this guy does is RuneScape. So like, I get peppered. Like, I never get car ads.
Yeah.
Like, I want to buy a moped. Like, I don't drive a car. Like, I don't think I've ever gotten like a car ad. Maybe a couple of years ago. But like, advertising is usually very geared towards the user. So I've always assumed that's the case.
It's kind of interesting how it works, semi-related, people for a while thought Facebook was spying on you with your microphone and your camera, listen to your conversations. You and I would talk about some dog food, let's just say, whatever.
Dog food, cat food, beef.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you'd go on Facebook and later you would see an advertisement for dog food.
Yep. Even if you don't own a dog, which makes it weird. Like
yeah, it does. And weird things do happen.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to plug this podcast because I seem to always do it, but it's related.
Mm-hmm.
The podcast Reply All, episode 109, is Facebook spying on you. They kind of dive into this, and it has a guy who used to work with the advertising on the Facebook side of things.
Mm-hmm.
He talks about how they don't necessarily spy on you, but they don't need to. They know your age. They know what type of person you are. So, like, you know what I mean? Let's say you're a white female in her early 20s.
Mm-hmm.
They can tell that you go to this one specific grocery store a lot, right? They see you liking photos of dogs or like something to do with animals.
Yeah.
So and then they will start gearing some of those advertisements towards you.
Yeah.
And the weird thing is, what they can do as well, let's say you're going to another country, they can tell that you went to this new country, and they might start gearing advertisements for,
Traveling?
Not traveling, but let's say you're like a college kid, right? College dude.
Okay.
That tells you going to the bars all the time, whatever it is. So then you go to Germany on a vacation. Now you're getting advertisements for this German beer.
Heineken.
Actually, it's Dutch.
Oh, is it?
Learned that today. I always thought it was German too.
Yeah.
But no, you're getting...
Is that good or bad advertised by the company?
Huh.
Do they market themselves as like a German or
I
like
don't think so. I think people just assume the name.
The name in the bottle's like green?
Yeah, maybe. Anyway, yeah, I don't know. Anyways, anyways, you're in this new country, let's just say Germany, and they start advertising like maybe Oktoberfest or maybe, you know what I mean? They start these weird things where like, how does it know that I like beer and stuff? And it's like, well, it can track you and it tells that you're going to these bars. You rated this on Google, so it knows that you do go to these things. And, so it's like, it's an interesting episode because it talks about the way advertising works and how they don't really need to spy on you because they have so much information about you as it is without you might not even be aware of it.
Yeah.
So anyways, it's just kind of crazy with mobile coming out. These advertisements have definitely ramped up, which makes sense.
Yep.
You're going to want to click on it because Jagex's official advertisement will bring you straight to the Google Play Store.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe these gold selling sites, you click it, brings you to the Google Play Store, but it's for this gold selling app. You download it, has all this information about you now, right?
Mm-hmm. So do you think the responsibility for these phishing ads is on Jagex, or is it on Instagram, like YouTube, like the Google Ads program to make sure they're not phishing? Because you don't see like you don't see World of Warcraft scams, or you don't see like,
well, maybe because we don't play them as much.
I put hundreds of hours, thousands of hours into like WoW ones. Like I've played like a bunch of games, but I just mean like in general, like you don't see like ads that are like get Instagram followers today. Like you'll never, like, I don't think those advertisements are a thing. They get shut down probably super quick, or like some sketchy mobile app. Like they have those, like you can download apps that will give you friends on Instagram or followers, which probably just steal your data and other things.
You can buy followers and stuff.
Yeah, but
I had an Instagram account get hacked and sold as one of those.
Yeah, so, but you don't see any of that advertisement. You don't see any like
we don't see, right?
Well, like in general, like it's not a thing. Like
it could be just on a lesser scale.
So,
you know
like,
what I mean, to say that the whole Instagram, those type of things that we don't see it, but we're not also big into the Instagram world. Maybe some of those Instagram models, or maybe an upcoming someone who wants to be an Instagram model might start seeing some ads like that.
I don't think so. I think we would know about this. So, like, but how often do you use Instagram? Do you go on it every day?
Recently, a little bit more.
But you've never seen an ad for anything Instagram related?
Not that I'm looking out for, though, either. I might just...
Well, like, does it come up on your phone when you're watching YouTube? Do you see it anywhere? Like, because I never use Instagram, so it's like a good argument to, like, you know, maybe if I use it a bunch. But, like, there are people that, like, I feel like you would know that, like, these weird, sketchy sites are, like, throwing at, you know what I mean? I never see anything scammy like with YouTube ads. There was that one Here My Garage, that guy who's like he's a con artist, obviously, whatever that dude's name is.
It's a little controversial, but yeah, you can make the argument.
Yeah. That's like the only thing I can think of like it being like scammy, but like it's a YouTube channel, and is it on YouTube to watch out for that type of stuff? Like, do you think do you think Old School or Jagex is responsible for making sure that like fake advertisements aren't out there, or is it on to like Google or Facebook to make sure that, cause like, or Twitch is a good example of, you go on this Twitch, you'll see like a fake stream pretending to be Wooks, and it's like, I'm quitting, go to this, whatever, this is the reason why I'm quitting. And it's like a phishing link. And there's phishing scams on Twitch, Old School RuneScape section, that are the top, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So but at the same time, they get taken down so fast because Jagex...
They not always, like, there's a lot of them, obviously, they always pop up, but they'll be up for like a good couple hours, which like, that's a lot of time. Like, if you think
some are fast, some get taken down fast. It's you're playing whack-a-mole, though. You know what I mean?
But like, the main thing is it Jagex's responsibility, or is it the website's responsibility?
I almost feel
for
like
ads and all this stuff.
I feel like it's maybe a bit of both, because it's so hard to put that much responsibility on one person. Jagex can't really sit there refreshing Twitch all the time. You know what I mean? They can't.
Like, I just use Twitch, but like
or other sites, Facebook, so or like if Instagram.
If YouTube is running like scammy ads, or Snapchat, because they use that in the post, Snapchat, what could they do about it? I feel like these programs, because RuneScape is very special, as in
the gold actually has value. That's a big problem.
You can get programs that allow you to like hack and all like to rat and like all these sketchy programs that have like options you can find that like are fine tuned for getting information of people's RuneScape info. Yeah. When like it's not like the program itself isn't meant just for that. It's for like IT rat your coworker, you know what I mean, or something like that. You could, and like the purpose of it is like for business related things, right? Let's just say that those apps, you can find settings in it that are related for RuneScape. Yeah, that's how like deep seated it is in the community.
And I think it's because almost every item in the gold has such a real world value.
Yeah,
it's because it's such a big game and such a popular game. But I don't think you can put the responsibility on either Jagex or Snapchat. Let's just use that example. I do feel like there needs to be some sort of communication where they can work together to stomp some of these, because it's a lot of work. Again, that Reply All podcast goes into it, where there's what happens with Google, how you can like pay money to have your website advertised so it pops up in the top of the Google searches. What can happen though is that depending on what you're looking for, could be a scam related website.
Yep.
So the example that I remember hearing about was, if you lose something of yours in a taxi, let's say you're in New York and you're taking a taxi, you leave your vape in the taxi. So then you look it up, lost and found items of whatever taxi, and then this company comes up. And they're like, hey, we will find your item because we're connected with all the taxis here. We'll find what you lost, make an account, and it's going to cost $50. You're like, well, my vape was $100. Fine, I'll do it. So you sign up for it, but then they say, we'll keep it. If we hear about it, we'll let you know. But if you want us to actively search for it, you need to pay us more money. But at this point, you've already spent $50 on it. You're like, what the hell was that for?
Some cost fallacy type thing. So you spend more and more and more.
Yeah, and depending on what it is you actually lost, you might be more willing to spend more money. Anyways, these websites are just a scam website. They're just going to keep... They're maybe not even based in New York. They probably have one in every little city throughout the U.S. or whatever country. Now, what has to happen, though, is that they need to go and contact Google, where Google will then remove them. You would think that they would have not allowed them to be approved in the first place. Yep. But because there's so many... Google's a big company, but they're getting hit with all of these websites wanting to advertise them. It might be too much work for one person to do it.
Well, it's an automated system.
Yeah.
That's not really vetted.
They have one person who kind of oversees it as well, right?
There's probably a team. I wouldn't say one person.
No, but like there's someone that you have to call and they'll go like, okay, I'm the one who has to go check now.
Yeah, good example is for the longest time, RuneLite. If you Googled RuneLite, the first thing that came up was a fake RuneLite client that would hack your account.
Yep.
that was an issue for a while, to the point now if I ever want to send someone a link to download RuneLite, I'm in their Discord and I get the link straight from their Discord.
That's what I do too.
And I send it through there. I'm not even gonna like play with the idea of Googling it.
Yeah, it's sketchy.
Which is weird.
Yeah, I do. We'll have to see. I feel like this will be something Jagex will start to actively try to. I would say prevent, but again, it's like whack-a-mole, right? There's so many things you have to go on so many different social media sites and YouTube and Twitch to like get rid of all these advertisements and fake streams. They pop up everywhere, and you take one down, another one pops back up. It's a hard one.
I guess semi-related, though. Do you want to talk about the third-party thing?
Yeah, so this popped up as well this week. It became knowledge to some people that in your account tab on the RuneScape website, there is a checkbox that by default seems to be checked for most people, or at least some.
Yeah, some. I feel like you should check, but I think...
I'm going to check my account because I have not checked to see it at all. But anyways, this checkbox does say, see more relevant content by sharing my data with third parties.
Which is like advertisements geared towards me with RuneScape related stuff, right?
RuneScape related stuff, or maybe it's just going to share that like, hey, or like me, I'm a 26-year-old male who lives in Canada. They will share that, so he plays this much RuneScape every day.
He buys this many bonds, all this stuff.
Yes, now they know, okay, he plays video games on the computer and all this stuff. So maybe we can advertise different games to him. He plays mobile a lot. Maybe we can advertise him these new freemium mobile games.
Yeah. By default, it was the people I asked and told us about, and what I saw on Reddit. Most people that didn't have it checked they don't fuck with mobile at all. At least the buddies I was talking to on my friends list, because I was like, yo, this is kind of bait. And they're like, yeah, it was fine for me. And I know that they don't play mobile because they're like, it's inefficient. I don't really, I don't want to play on my phone. Like, that's pretty much it. Which is fine. If you don't want to, you don't have to. But, I mean, I play on mobile, and I was opted into this, and I know I'd never, would allow, this is something I wouldn't check. The only thing I ever click accept to is terms and conditions, because I need that. I don't like being put on a mailing list. I hate that shit.
Yeah.
That just goes straight to my spam. See, you're opted into it right now, right?
Yeah, so I did just check it. You have to go to your email section of the website, and looking at it, and they have changed the website a little bit.
Yeah.
And it does say, see more relevant content by sharing it's already checked.
Yeah.
So I will go and uncheck that now and save it. But for me, by default, it was checked.
Yeah, same for me. And I'm guessing, if you want to put in the conspiracy music, it's because of, mobile users. The people that are playing on mobile, it might do that by default. You might check into it initially or something like that. Or maybe there's some sort of thing to happen. If you are a mobile user, you should check. And if that's not the case, then let me know, because I'd like to take off one of my 20 tinfoil hats about this game at some point. They're starting to get heavy.
Yeah.
But that's the correlation I see is active mobile players are typically opted in, and if you're not, they seem to not be opted in.
And that's what you want. If you want to share data, it's those mobile players is what you want. Because there's big money to be made in the freemium gaming market, and knowing how much they're spending on microtransactions.
But it's not just that. It's the amount of legal data you can share is condensed in this piece of hardware. You can't be opt in to share my, and then you bank on your computer, so they're just sending your bank info to everyone. They can't do that. But you're allowed to send out phone numbers. If you're getting a lot of scam callers, I don't know how big it is in other countries, but at least for Canada, today I've gotten 6 calls about fake IRS, Microsoft tech support. I get that stuff quite a bit, especially recently, which is kind of weird. It's because a lot of these mobile games and stuff, you allow them to collect information through your messages. You allow them to listen to your voice, your phone calls, Facebook messaging, very invasive. And some of these apps will just straight up sell you the information, and that's kind of what happens, because there's a lot of they know your contacts, they know your location, they know with Uber Eats and or skip the dishes and like using Uber or Lyft.
Yep.
Like they can very easily know everything that you're doing. And it's just because you like to message people on Facebook through your phone or like Instagram. It's on your phone. Like it's very accessible.
That is interesting that you brought that up. The fact that if you're on mobile, it might be checked by default.
Mm-hmm.
My main account was, and I've been accepted to the beta twice. None of my other accounts are. And I haven't played any of them on mobile yet. I've only ever played my main account on mobile.
Yeah.
And all my other accounts by default is not checked.
So maybe start playing one of your accounts a lot on mobile. Just pick one account. Even if you log in at bank stand for like 40, 30 minutes a day. It's like, you know what I mean? As you're like watching Daredevil and you're woodcutting, just like...
But I'm wondering...
Have them woodcut as well. Do something random and see if it just opts you in at some point.
This is a new option that just popped up on the website. This wasn't there before.
Mm-hmm.
So if I were to log into mobile now on another account, it can't... Will it change automatically? Because at that point, I feel like when they converted to the site, if you're already playing on mobile, then they checked it.
I feel like during one of their updates, when this option became a thing, it was like, 'cause you have to update the app each week. It probably during the update grabbed all the accounts that were used and threw that in, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what my guess would be, but I have no idea.
I think you're right, because it is interesting, and I remember you mentioned it before, that whale share group.
Yeah, I believe it's called Whale Share, yeah.
Where all these freemium microtransaction games, they kind of are in this closed circle together where they share information on, hey, Dills has been spending $100 on RuneScape for months, but he's stopped playing RuneScape and now he's playing Clash of Clans.
Yeah.
So now Clash of Clans sees this, and then they go,
let's start giving him deals on gems.
yeah, let's give him deals. He normally spends it on a Friday, so maybe if we start the deal on Thursday and end it on Saturday,
Yeah.
he'll spend that money here instead. So that...
Let's give him some good RNG for a couple days, you know?
it's a bit worrying. I'm sure there's more to this story, and maybe it'll unfold as it goes on.
Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, honestly, you guys should check. And like, if you're like, oh, I play mobile every day and I wasn't opted in, then it's like, okay, well now we have to figure out what is the factors. That's the only thing I can think of is like,
And it makes sense.
yeah, how much you play, how much you spend on membership, all that stuff.
Because that's the thing. I know we've already said it, but the mobile gaming market, very susceptible to microtransactions and buying them. So for Jagex to want to get this information from their new mobile players makes a lot of sense. And I know we don't have microtransactions in old school RuneScape. RuneScape 3, on the other hand, has a ton. Old school RuneScape, we put on those tinfoil hats once and predicted that the Twitch promo giveaway might be them trying to slip their foot in the door of the microtransactions.
Yeah, maybe. Did you do that stuff? The Twitch promo?
I didn't do it.
Okay, I did it. So that's not a factor. But yeah, I don't know. It's really interesting to see. Also, alongside with these phishing ads that you're getting, I skip all the ads because it's not worth my time to. Oh, I already played.
Worth anyone's
Thanks to
time.
the old school ad, I already played this game, idiot. Stupid Jagex. I wonder if I've been getting these scam ads a lot. I just don't realize it, and it's because like maybe they're like, and Jagex just doesn't realize who they're selling their ads to.
That, and plus, we see so many advertisements a day that it becomes white noise.
Yeah. So yeah, it's definitely something to like mull over and make
Food
sure
for
like,
thought.
yeah, you know, you don't have to give out your information. So
Yeah, I mean,
take 2 seconds, go to your account management stuff.
prevent it in any way you can, because there's so much information being siphoned from your life as it is.
Yep.
Anyways, though, we'll move on to our next part, which is the defacing of the old wiki.
Yep. The Wikia, the
Yeah.
fandom.
So it has moved to oldschool.runescape.wiki. That's the new wiki site. Go there whenever you can, because in your Google searches will be more personalized to that. But for now, most of us are still going to end up going to the other wiki, because it's just what comes up when you Google something.
Yeah.
And it's going to take some time for the transition to happen. But it seems like somebody or people have made bots to deface and confuse the wiki. At first, I thought this was just what one person was doing for fun to be funny.
Mm-hmm.
But I found so many pages like this, and they were just random gibberish where they like would copy and paste from one wiki page and post it onto another.
Yeah, it would be like a stew or like something of just information. Like, I forget which one you read out to me, but it was like 5 or 6 paragraphs of different wikis, or different pages, just like together, and it just made no sense. But it could also get by the detection because it's, it's not like poop poop butt ha 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 ha, like just stupid, or porn, which I found during the defacing. But yeah, I've been using just the new wiki for a while now. Obviously, it's new, so there are some issues. I do find it's like, at least when I used it, it was a bit slower. And there's weird things like certain links wouldn't link you to the right place. And there would be error codes. Because I guess people are like, I'm going to be an active member right now. And then they just kind of fuck it all up. Which one was it? It was it was Kriara. I went to go do a Kriara trip, and I'm like geared up. And I'm like, okay, let's make sure I have everything. Go to the Kriara strategies. And a bunch of stuff was like linking you to the wrong place. And then there was these big, gross go to strategies. I went and fixed it all, but hopefully no one changed it. Scroll to the very bottom. Is it back? Is there like that red text still there?
Yeah.
Check some of those links. They might see, that's the thing. They had like all these like error codes. And I went and like fixed it all. And then I went and made sure everything linked you to the right place. The one example is like, you can use the drop trick. You'd click that link, and then it would link you to the Cerebrew thing. Or maybe it was the restore thing that you're just looking at. And you're like, that's totally, you know what I mean? So you have to go in and fix it all. And then you save it, refresh it, you go back to it, and it was fine, it was working. But I guess the system went and put it back. Like, there's it is in its infancy right now, so there's going to be some weird things. But I've noticed, like, yeah, Kriara was the one that was, like, super weird for me. There's, like, red, like, reference was, I don't know what it said, but like it's just red, bold, big letters saying that this thing doesn't work, and it takes like 2 seconds to fix. But like, obviously, it's what, like the first month of it compared to like 5 years of information.
It'll take some time, but I think they're moving pretty fast on it.
Yeah, I mean,
it's getting better.
There's like weird hiccups here and there, but it's all fine. Like, you don't have to mistrust the new wiki.
Yeah, it's good. You can go there. A lot of the information has been ported over.
If there's an issue, it's very noticeable in terms of like, you'll see an error code. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Next, we will talk about, so on Reddit, Swamp Deku made a post talking about the Ranging Guild, and I thought it might be interesting to talk about because it is kind of a relic from the past. You need 40 range to get into it. Yet everything it offers is something, by the time you're 40 range, you probably won't need the gear that's being sold there. There's like studded leather bodies and stuff. And then there's also this minigame, which is kind of useless, where you just get a longbow and you shoot at targets to get these ranging points, which you can save a bunch of them up for and buy like 20 rune arrows.
Yeah. Don't you get range experience?
You get very little. I know that was a way of doing it to not get HP experience, but
Canon,
exactly.
Yeah.
Do you think that they should update these, or do you think it's kind of cool to have these things that were like built in a different generation?
No, they should straight up change it all. I would even say like Warriors Guild isn't a Warriors Guild. Like, I would even say like we have to do something about like, it's useful. We get the defenders. Iron Man can buy food there. All this stuff. You can.
There's only one way to get tokens, basically. And that's the armors. The other ways...
But they have the whole cannonball thing, right?
Yeah.
Where you can get strength experience without you leveling up HP.
Fair enough, true.
It has its uses, but it's not a Warriors Guild. It's very much a mini game room.
Yeah, that's
in terms of like you're there to get defenders or buy food as an Iron Man, and then you don't go back unless you want your attack 99 attack cape at some point.
That's a good point.
Same thing with the Mages Guild. You use it as an Iron Man to buy runes. Or if you want to practice tick flick it or prey flicking, you can go there and watch the clocks. That's what I would do. Or that's what I've done. I don't do it all the time. Or you buy your mage cape. In Rangers Guild, you have a clue there and a couple clue scrolls that bring you there, and you buy your cape. Like that's pretty much it. Like, they're all useful. I would very much like it to be something interesting, even if it's for like, you want to imbue a magic short bow. Well, take it out of the bounty hunter store, go to the range guild.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Do like a quick little thing where you bring a magic bow and you attack some shit and then it gets imbued or something, right? Even if you pay a fee, like have people like actually want to like interact with it. Because like if you think of like, most people gravitate to preferring one way of training. Like if you're not like, I just want to max and you're not being efficient, most people are like, I just like ranging shit more. So I just have a higher range level. I just use range for all my Slayer tasks. I just like it like that.
Yeah, totally.
And then if they want to go to the range guild and like, I just like, you know what I mean? Like I want it to be like, it would be like, you imagine if there's 3 guilds, like the mage, warrior, and range guild, they're all lined up next to each other and it's like, and you have to pick one. It's like, right now you're like, I'm going to go to the warriors guild because I can actually get shit. It's like, well, you want a good pull and good interaction in all of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that
true.
like is ongoing, right?
It's a good point.
Like they did that with the mining guild. They revamped the mining guild.
Yeah, they added some things to it.
If you
the
think of
Motherlode mine kind of being in the areas, nice.
Yep, the farming guild that's going to be coming out, like that's perfect for like what guild, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
guilds should be like. It should be like not only is like an achievement, but like it's like
you go there for something. There's something there that will always be there for that specific skill. Look at the woodcutting guild.
Yeah.
Even the fishing guild. The fishing guild's old, but hey, you're close to a bank. You got lobsters.
minnows.
You got minnows too.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. Yeah, they added that. And then they got sharks, right?
Because yeah, people just kind of will gravitate towards one thing just as they are as a person. And I think you should be rewarded. Even if that means bumping up the cap, 40 range, like used to be a good I used to be like a milestone back in the day, but now
when you get your D-hide.
Now it seems like 75 is that's the real, because now you get a blowpipe, the like best weapon. Yeah, you get every range weapon in the game. But like, even if it's like bring it up to like 60 and then add some cool shit, like I would like it to be really nice. Like, oh nice. Like I remember like back in the day getting to the fishing guild, having to pie boost into the fishing guild, and I'm like, this place is amazing, and I fished until I didn't have to pie boost anymore.
So a lot of people do.
Yeah, and like that was amazing. Like I'm in the fishing guild. I'm a fisherman in RuneScape. Like this is sick.
Top tier fisherman. I'm an angler.
Yeah, and I would like that feeling for every guild.
Yeah, and it makes sense. It's a guild, right?
Yep.
Yeah. And lastly, our last bit of information, or I guess topic to talk about, is with the new weapons and items coming out with the Kabos Lowlands. We've been seeing some of the designs, and one being questioned right now is the Dragon Lance. And I think that one of the reasons why it's being a topic of discussion is because it looks really nice. And
for some people. Well, no, it does.
It looks good, but the problem that some people are having with it is that
it looks too good?
Yeah, too much.
Too many polygons.
Too many polygons.
Yeah.
Too much,
detail.
Too much detail, perfect. Because when we look at some items in RuneScape, they're very simplistic. They're very simple weapons.
Simplistic?
Yeah, they're very simple in design. And some people say that that's the charm of RuneScape, is that there's, it's nothing too intricate, but
you cut down trees with one arm.
Yeah, exactly. So you look at like the Dragon Longsword or the Dragon Scimitar, the Dragon Battle Axe. Nothing too crazy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Look at the whip even. Not that crazy.
Sausages.
Just a sausage, yeah.
Yeah.
Then you look at the Abyssal Bludgeon. A little bit more going on. A little spiky, more colors, right?
Yeah.
And maybe look at the Twisted Bow. Which is not bad.
I would say like theater blood items, like the new Sanguinesti staff.
The Sanguinesti staff, the scythe.
The scythe.
The rapier is pretty simple.
But even then, like people complain on how simple it looked, right?
Yeah,
so
you can't
people are very torn.
Can't really win. So this Dragon Lance does look pretty good. Dragon Hunter Lance, I should say.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of it, but the controversial part is that some people don't want these crazy over the top graphically weapons in the game, because it kind of makes the other ones look, I don't know, boring. It just seems weird, I guess. And there seems to be a lot of people who agree on this. For me personally, I like these cool looking weapons. I like the detail. I like the the new tiers of items coming out to have more detail. Maybe not new tier, but these new items come out have more detail. But some people, I like the HD graphics. I don't think you do, right? You like the simple graphics we have now?
Yeah, I don't like HD.
Yeah. So you like a more simpler. What do you feel about this weapon? Do you think it should be a simple weapon that looks just like a dragon lance, or the way it is now, it's like a dragon hunter lance, so it has like the horns and like the face of a dragon, and then it has like these spirals going around the actual lance?
Yeah, so I'm going to give you the best answer I can. I feel like some weapons should look really cool, like this dragon hunter lance, like Din's Bulwark comes to mind.
Yeah.
You pull it out, it's got it blinks and it's got like a flashing color from the eye. You look at Bandos, looks pretty cool. That's an older style thing, but obviously it's not as detailed, but it looks really cool. The DFS, the Ward, the Wyvern, the Mage version variant,
the Wyvern Visage.
Yeah, like those, I guess the two are the newer ones, but those look really cool. And I guess like Theater of Blood items, I mean, I didn't like them like aesthetically. I don't like the way they look. I
like the scythe. I like them all except for the Sanguinest stuff.
Yeah. But I feel like certain items should purposely be better detailed than other things.
I mean, it makes sense. I think the problem that some people have with this is that it has the word dragon in it. So when you see all the other dragon weapons, the dragon short sword, even the new the dragon crossbow, it's just a red crossbow, right? Basically.
Kind of, yeah. Now, they are looking at recoloring it.
The dragon hunter crossbow.
Yes.
So that's what I'm making is the difference. You have the dragon crossbow.
Yeah.
But then
now I understand the confusion, because you said dragon, I'm thinking dragon hunter.
So the dragon hunter crossbow has more design to it.
Yeah.
A little bit more. So I think what people are getting confused by is this called the dragon hunter lance, but people are thinking of it as the dragon lance.
Yeah, and that's incorrect, because like perfect example, we just got confused right there about it for like half a second. You're like, no, I'm talking about the dragon. I'm like, oh, okay. Dragon hunter is like a different category. It's like a sidestep of like, it's not a dragon weapon. It's a dragon hunter weapon
used to kill. Yeah, it's
used to kill dragon. It would be like corrupted dragon. I mean, back in like old EOC days, or what would you call it? Like RS.
It was in the middle. It was like RS 2.5.
Yeah, RS 2000. No, I don't know, like 9.
RS 2.5. I think it's fair.
09 era. It's a completely different class. But what I mean when like some weapons should purposefully have more detail and have more like they should look like objectively better is because once you get to like another tier, like you get to the high end items, you want them to come off to like new players or people that don't have it yet to be like, that looks fucking sick.
Yeah, it's the new.
That looks dope. Not that it's new, is that look how that looks really cool, and it's also really good.
It looks stronger is what you want it to.
Yeah, and you want that switch to go off in someone's head to go, I need that.
Yeah.
Let me go buy some bonds. I'm kidding. So like, good examples, I have this one outfit that I like to wear when I bank stand that requires me to wear Din's Bulwark. Ironically, it covers up half the outfit, but
from the backside,
from the front side, but like you can't see. But like I don't know, it's a cool like fashionscape outfit, and a lot of people go, I've never seen that item before, and that looks sick. What is it? And I'll be like, oh, it's the Din's Bulwark. You can get it from, and I'll like, and they're like typically they're newer players, like they're new to the game. They don't see them out too often, right? Because you don't really use it. It's a niche item, but it looks really cool and it's good for its little niche thing. And it draws attention. I've had conversations with people like, I want to buy that. How much? Like,
yeah.
You don't trust me. Trust me, you don't have
Get
enough.
On my level.
Yeah, it's 15 mil at the time. But like, and that's the aesthetic you want with like Ancestral, where like Ancestral does not really fit old. Like you look at all the other gear. Like look at Mystics, and you got like a flaccid, you got a semi-flaccid like hat that like it looks kind of goofy. Like it doesn't look bad, but like Mystics doesn't really look that good. Let's be honest.
It looks powerful. It looks mid powerful.
It doesn't like you look at it like you look at like Zamorak or like Monk's Robes or the Blue Wizards, and they like look like shit, right? And as they go up, there's like more detail to the gear, even split bark, all that stuff. As the gear gets better and better, it's more like I can't think of the word.
More design into it.
Yeah, there's more. Yeah, and I think don't really want it to to look bad. Like, think of it as like, I don't know, you're killing a boss on RuneScape, right? Let's say you're killing the hill giant boss. What's his name? I can't. Obor. And you're like, he's a big hill giant. And then you like kill KBD. And it's like, he's a 3-headed black dragon. That's kind of boring. But then you start going up to like up the ranks of a Kraken. You're like, this is kind of goofy and cool.
Yeah.
You know, you go and kill like General Grador, go kill Bandos. Like, this is one big ass goblin. This guy's kind of a badass looking dude.
Theater of Blood, right?
Theater of Blood. And you look at all the, even like you fight Olm.
Yeah.
And you're like as you get up and up, you're kind of like,
they seem more stronger.
It like rewards like a viewer or like someone who like it's more of a pull to get into it, because it also, not only is it like fun or like more rewarding, it also just looks way cooler.
You feel like you're fighting an actual boss.
Yeah, like if you're fighting like Vorkath with the Dragon Hunter Lance, like you want to feel like badass. Like, look how cool Vorkath is.
Yeah.
That boss looks amazing. And if you have like this Void, you know, your soy boy in Void using like a
nice.
using like a blowpipe, or you're like Chadscaping and you have like the example they use, that full setup of like Bandos, DFS, Dragon Hunter Lance, like you look super cool when you're fighting it, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you do.
So that's my opinion. I think those people are like, I disagree with them, but we also might be looking at it in two completely different ways.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Pretty cool. But that's all we have to talk about this week, which means we'll wrap it up and move it on to our lore.
Yep.
This episode of Lore, we will tackle the Grotesque Guardians as we continue our discussion of the bosses with an old school RuneScape. But before we can talk about who and what the Grotesque Guardians are, we need to talk about their origins and the area they live. They reside at the very top of the Slayer Tower, which raises the question, what exactly and why is the Slayer Tower there, and who built it? The Slayer Tower was built by General Vigora. Originally, he was one of Zeros' generals, but during the Third Age, he betrayed his god and began to fight for Zamorak. He began building the tower in Mauritania as a way to impress his fellow soldiers. Since he was human, he was looked down upon. He had built this fortress out of all stone and named it Vigora's Fortress. He made claims that it could see all of 4 and 3, today known as the Wilderness. He originally had started construction of this fortress at the end of the Second Age when he was still following Zeros. But once it was complete, he was mocked by Zeros and Zeros' people. Zamorak, though, had remained silent, which played a big part in his abandonment of his god. As time passed, many other generals began to call it Vigora's Folly, which caused him to continue expansion of this fortress. Although, upon expanding, it caused this fortress to begin to sink due to the foundation and the area he had built it in. Humiliated, Vigor decided to abandon this fortress. During the Third Age, Zamorakian mages decided to set up in the fortress to use it as a base. Here, they would begin summoning creatures that would help fight for Zamorak's army. They had opened a portal that allowed demons to come through. Hordes of Necrials, aberrant specters, gargoyles, and eventually the vicious abyssal demons began to appear in this fortress. When Zeros was slain by Zamorak, he placed a curse on all of his people that had once followed him. Since Vigora was human, he succumbed to this curse at some point. His ghost still walks the rogue's castle. But before Vigora had fallen, and before his fortress was taken over by the Zamorakian mages, he had sculpted from granite these gargoyles at the top of his fortress. He had given them a black tourmaline heart, which is a crystal that shamans believed had healing properties. Over time, rising decay engulfed the fortress's foundations. It eventually climbed its way up through the stone and timber until it got to the roof, where it embittered the guardians' black hearts. Now, whenever the bell at the top of the tower is rung, these guardians seem to wake up to fight whoever is on the roof. Some attribute the aggressiveness of these guardians to their slain brethren that are found within the Slayer Tower today. Alright, and now that we are back, we get to move to the Grand Exchange. I need to get a sound clip for this. I like the sound clips. It's so much fun.
You should have the, when you buy or sell something, the G and the ding ding, that little, the
Maybe.
money sound, you know what I'm talking about, when you first log in and you have something that sells.
That, or maybe just a clip from the actual soundtrack. Song.
Yeah.
I don't know. Let us know what you guys want. Anyways.
Microsoft Sam with just like, buy RS Gold at
thewilderness.com. Anyways, we get to talk about our Audible trial we got going on.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to get a free audiobook and a free month, go to audibletrial.com/wild. It's a website where you can get a ton of ebooks. And if you like podcasts, you might like them. And there might be something that you want to read or wanted to, but you didn't have time. Then you can go listen to it. You know what I mean? Maybe I read a bit of this one book that someone let me borrow about quitting smoking. I quit smoking a while ago, but I know it's a pretty good one. A lot of people it's helped them kick it.
It explains what nicotine is actually about.
Yeah, and like the mindset where it's like all in your head, and like you need to stop thinking of certain things in the context of a smoker. You need to think of it as I'm not a smoker.
Yeah.
So you can, I always smoke on break time, but you know people who don't smoke on break time.
Yeah.
And they seem to be doing fine. So you need to get in that mindset. It seems to help a lot of people. But anyways, I haven't had time to read the whole thing. But maybe that book, I don't know if it is, but maybe it is. It's on Audible. You know what I mean? So this gives people a chance to actually listen to it when they're commuting, or they're at the gym, or they're walking their dog.
Playing RuneScape.
Exactly.
I listen. I mean, I won't go into detail because I'm embarrassed about what I've been watching while I play RuneScape this past couple days that you've seen me watching on YouTube. But I like just background noise that I can just like listen to. I listen to like a lot of podcasts and stuff while I'm playing RuneScape. And audiobooks like perfectly fit that role, especially if you're doing something like lava runes, or you're doing something like efficient, like that's click intensive, and you're like, this fucking suck. You know when you get in that mindset.
Yeah, exactly.
You can easily put on like an audiobook and like let me be efficient, or like let me do the skill, or like I just say efficient because whatever, but let me do this one thing that like I don't want to do, like this task or something. And I'll listen to a chapter or two. And once that's done, I'll stop doing that on RuneScape and I'll move on to something else.
Yeah. And like, I'm in this radio class in college, and they drill into your head that what radio is all about, and just, I guess, audio entertainment in general. It's you're driving, you're doing something you don't really enjoy. So what the radio announcer trying to do is trying to pull you out of that car drive.
Yeah. So you still you crash.
Yeah, exactly. So you're focusing on the drive, but you're also entertained by this other thing, so that you're not sitting there being bored of this car ride.
Yeah.
So audiobooks, like podcasts, kind of do the similar thing.
Yep.
So give it a try if you're interested. audibletrial.com/wild.
Free book with the first month. You already said that stuff?
Yeah. And if you cancel it after the first month, you keep your book. So hey.
Yeah. Hey, why not?
But you got to remember, cancel it if you do want to cancel it, or else next thing you know, you've been paying for these stupid comic books on an app for like 6 months, and you're spending like $30 a month on it. You don't even use it. You didn't even use it when you used the free trial because it sucked. Anyways, moving on to our next thing. If you want to support us directly, you can do that at patreon.com/The Wilderness Podcast. And our supporter of the week is Colorize.
Hey, I know him.
Yeah,
I see him in the CC a lot.
It's a familiar face.
I mean, I see most of these people. I don't know why I'm just saying him, but...
Well, sometimes people come on with their their real name, and I don't know what their username in-game is. But, you can sign up with your username, then I can see it. I know Colorize is kind of like an OG in the clan chat. I've seen him around for a while now. So I want to say thank you very much for supporting us. It is very appreciative.
Yeah, it's nice. Is it weird that sometimes you'll say like their name, because that's what they put in the Patreon, and I'm like, oh, it's this person on RuneScape? Because I'll have that. You'll say someone's name, but I know what their RSN is, and I'm like, I shouldn't know that.
Yeah, I don't know how you know that, and I don't.
Yeah, like I'll just like make the connection somehow, or like I just know that from like an interaction with them, and I'm just like, cool,
the
awesome.
Name to the account.
Yeah. So I don't want to be like, this is his name. He actually lives here. He made his account in this state. Just give it all. And now he's hacked. Thanks.
Searching him on Facebook.
Yeah.
No.
And I subscribed to this. I did like this Patreon for this podcast. They doxed me. I got hacked. I was pissed.
It's like the exact opposite thing you want to happen.
Every time they give me a shout out, I get hacked.
It's been me every single week for like 2 months now. I got nothing.
I showed them that I won like a 400 mil stake, and then they just like announced me. I'm not even on their Patreon anymore.
They have this new segment where they hack accounts on the air.
Live. Well, is it live if they're be live for us?
It's live for us, but no one else.
Yeah.
Weird.
Anyways,
thank you, Colorize, for supporting us, and also thank you to every single person out there for supporting the show. We greatly appreciate it. It's shocking I kind of went through all like the words you can use for like being surprised, and
Staggering.
it's staggering.
Wait, is that that's probably a staggering amount of support?
It is a staggering
like
amount of
that.
support. So thank you.
Flabbergasted.
Let's say that for next week. That's a
Okay.
good one. So yes, much love. Thank you very much. And we also got a new Patreon supporter this week, Taylor Garfilo.
Oh, I know that guy. I'm kidding. I'm sorry.
He's in the CC somewhere. Just gotta make that connection. But thank you everyone for supporting us. It means a lot. But now we can we move on to our next part where we tell you about things going on in the show. Well, we have this Connect 4 tournament coming up in
Last week? No, I'm kidding.
Shit, I forgot to do it. No, it's coming up in a little over a week. It's actually closer to 2 weeks. But we're having a Connect 4 tournament at the Games Room, and the winner will be winning, I don't know the exact prize, but it's going to be at least one bond, possibly more.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm hoping to stream that one on Twitch as well, just because it might be fun. Maybe you want to see what's going on, but you can't really be bothered to stop your rune crafting. Or maybe you're doing something else and you want to see what's going on. So it gives me a chance to try out streaming. I've never really done it before. That sounds kind of fun. But yeah, if you do want to be a part of that tournament, you can sign up to us on Discord. We have you can just let me know, but there's also a channel for it where you can just give us your username, let us know on Twitter or Facebook or in-game even, although I suggest the other ones just in case I'm AFKing and don't see it. Or you can send us an email, but send us a username because I'm going to be putting into a bracket so you'll see who you're going to be facing up. The signups will be closed on November 5th, where I can kind of put everything together so you can see who you're facing on, and it's on the Saturday. It'll be in the evening Eastern Standard Time. And yeah, it should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, you'll have a couple days to get your scrims in. Get your scrim partners.
Do some practicing.
Yeah.
And maybe start shit-talking your opponent, the mind games. Maybe you watch UFC and you're like, well, they do it there all the time. So
yeah.
maybe I need to pull that and do that.
What do they call that when they have like the press? I guess it's a press conference.
Yeah, press conference. Maybe
Get your boxing gloves on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll do a press conference on the Friday before the weigh-ins. Yeah. Anyways, our Twitter is @thewildernessrs. Our Facebook is facebook.com/thewildernesspodcast. We also have a group, though, which is better for interacting, that you can join. It's connected onto the Facebook. Our email is thewildernesspodcast@gmail.com. Our in-game clan chat is wildcc. And we do have a Discord, which you can find pinned on Facebook and Twitter. But you can also let one of us know, and we can send you a link manually. And that's it. But Deegan, you've got your things.
Twitch and Twitter, DeeganRS. Yeah, I should probably use Twitter a bit more. Honestly, I'm always I don't want to say anything. People I mean, they probably already think that this guy's a fucking idiot. Let's tweet something. They're like, what?
Can't even spell.
I'm not really streaming currently. I used to, pretty consistently, but we're still tweaking our internet situation.
Yeah, we've been kind of messing around for the past week, maybe even 2, trying to make it just better for everyone.
Because there's multiple people.
Yeah, and it's we've been honestly just reorganizing this whole house since those events taking place a month ago, maybe over a month. Lost track, but
digging lots of holes, burying a lot of stuff. Yeah,
lots of fires going on. But yeah, anyways, my Twitch is the Dills. If you want to get preempted on that and following or something, I don't stream too often. Not sure if I'm going to, but who knows? Maybe this can be such a big success. I'll say, you know what? Full-time streamer, 24-hour streams every day. You can watch me sleep.
We like Swifty 2.0.
Who?
WoW YouTuber / streamer.
What about him?
That was his gimmick for a while.
24-hour streams?
Yeah, pretty much. You could watch him always.
There was someone who started that name. Was it the Jenny Cam? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
In college, she left a webcam that would go on. Actually, it would take pictures once a minute or something, and then upload it to a site.
It was from a long time ago.
Before, streaming was a thing, but people would watch it all the time because, it's this college girl. You might be able to see her get changed.
But she would you'd be a passive viewer. People would watch it because she would bang dudes and shit. You could watch her.
Not often, but that was kind of what made it exciting. Is that it would happen very rarely. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but she became pretty popular in this niche category that people took actively watching her life, and then afterwards she was done, and she now was super far away from it. She vanished.
Reply All has a podcast on that.
Huh?
Reply All has a podcast episode on that.
Oh,
on
is it?
Jenny
Okay.
King. That's how I heard about it. But
Okay.
now what? Oh, yeah. Music, right? Now we talk about the music?
Yeah.
We talk about the music. All right, so our soundtrack of the week, our song of the week is Seventh Realm. It is the music track that is unlocked in Brimhaven Dungeon, and can you guess who composed this one?
Ian Taylor.
Ian Taylor.
Nice. How did I do? I do it every time.
You have like a 90% shot if you guess just him. And I guess that's about does it for us over here for episode 108.
No analytics to this music?
No one
Okay.
took the time.
It's good shit.
It is good. I mean, lots of
How about this?
good.
It's lit, fam.
It's lit, fam. Shit. What's another? Is there any other big?
Woke.
Is
I don't
that
know.
it?
I don't know.
Cuck seems to be one.
Yeah, you don't want to say the song's like cucky.
No, true. Unless you're into that, and that's a
Yeah.
good thing, right? Okay. Anyways, let's get out of here. Ta-ta for now.
See ya. Have a good one.